Welcome to our Cool Heart Flow. This sequence offers a deep and soulful heart and mind connection as we explore the relationship of compassion and kindness to yourself as well as others, working to slow down the breath, to slow down the mind and become centered. We begin to open the shoulders, chest, and the heart space, and the posterior chain with back bends and spinal mobility. Perfect if you suffer from poor posture and tightness in the upper body and may have a low sense of self-love. This cooler, slower yoga practice will offer you the opportunity to find an inner softness to a hardened exterior.
You gotta keep on breathing if you wanna make sense of it all. We will not fall.
Find a comfortable seat on your mat, and let's take the left hand onto the heart space, the right hand deep down onto the abdomen, just beneath the navel. Maybe you choose to close the eyes or take a soft gaze here, and just come to a steady, rhythmic, even breath, breathing in and out of the nostrils. Notice the connection of your hands on your body. Feel the warmth from your palms. Noticing the breath as it comes in through the nostrils, filling the lungs. Feel the expansion and the energy it brings. And on your exhale breath, feel a deeper sense of letting go of tightness, tension, and a release. Allow the breath to be free-flowing here, and you may wish to invite an intention for your practice, whatever may resonate with you at this moment, and reminding yourself about your own kindness, love, and compassion throughout the practice. Bringing the hands into the heart center to form a lotus mudra. As you breathe in, lift the lotus mudra up towards the sky, lifting the gaze. As you breathe out, release the hands. They swoop around and form a yoni mudra, triangular, just underneath the navel. Bringing the hands to palm at the heart center, lotus, lifting up to the sky, releasing the hands, letting them float down and sweeping round to form yoni. Repeating a few more times with your breath, breathing in, lifting up lotus towards the sky. Breathing out, down to yoni. Taking a deep inhale as you raise the lotus mudra up above the head, stretching the sides of the body, gentle release as it swoops back around on the exhale into yoni mudra just beneath the navel. Lifting up on the inhale, lotus mudra, stretch those fingers out. Bring the heels of the hands together. Exhale, let the arms float down to the sides and swoop around to take yoni mudra. Breathing in, form lotus mudra at the heart space. Lift it all the way above the head. Take the gaze to the heels of the hands. Reach the fingers out as you let the arms float down towards the knees. Lift the knees together. Come out of your seated posture and move into tabletop. Wrists are underneath the shoulders. Knees are underneath the hips. And let's begin our cat and cow here. Breathing in for cow, Looking forward, opening chest, pushing away from the mat, exhaling into cat, rounding the spine, chin to chest. Using the breath to initiate the movement through the spine, breathing in for cow, breathing out for cat. Doing a few more at the pace of your own breath here, cat and cow. Beginning to introduce a little bit more movement here with these rhythmic cat and cows, coming forward over the wrists, coming back into child's pose. So breathing in, coming forward, bending at the elbows, and exhaling as you bring the hips back towards the heels into child's. Do what feels good for you here. Releasing the hips back towards the heels, give yourself a little bit of wiggle room and come into child's pose as you rest the belly and the chest down towards the mat. Take the forehead down and bring the hands to the nape of the neck in Anjali Mudra, palms together. Just resting the elbows to the outer edges of your mat, releasing the hands and starting to gently roll up through the spine. Come into kneeling. And just give the neck a few little releases, dropping the ear side to side, dropping the chin to chest, lifting gaze to sky, turning the chin to each shoulder, left and right, and then introducing some semicircles into the neck. Remember softness. Only do what feels good and what the neck allows. Taking the right hand to left ear, just gently dropping that head over to the right shoulder and swapping sides, left hand to right ear. Release the hands back behind you, coming into reverse prayer as you kneel. So your reverse prayer might be down at the base of the sacrum, it might be between the shoulder blades, palms might be together, knuckles might be touching, whatever feels good here as you sit nice and tall. Relax the shoulders away from the ears and reach the crown of the head away as you fold forward in reverse prayer to child's pose. Exhale, let the head release to the mat. Release the hands as you roll up and start to circle the shoulders backwards. So breathing in, lift the shoulders up, breathing out, let the shoulders down, and then sweeping them the other way. So gentle circles forward. Little rotational twist to the left, little rotational twist to the right. Little hip stretch here, little back bend, lifting hips away, fingertips face forward, gaze goes to sky, open chest and shoulders. Coming into heart pose, melting heart or puppy pose, hips stay high, coming into forearm plank, lifting up the knees if comfortable, lowering down to the mat into Sphinx pose, elbows underneath the shoulders and resting the head down, and into seal as you ripple up through the spine. Maybe the arms are bent or straight here, and lower the body down. Lying chest open, the left arm goes all the way out to the side of you, and the right leg might lift and open up through the hip. Take it to the opposite side, right arm comes out to the shoulder height, and left leg lifts as you open up the body. Press through the palms, come back through tabletop, exhale back to child's pose, roll up through the spine, come into a high kneel, hands come to the base of the spine, and lifting up into that supported camel there. Bring yourself forward, hands come down to the mat, right foot steps towards the right wrist, winged dragon here as you drop the hips, keep the spine long, chest lifted, and just find this release here. Open the right arm out to the back foot, little twist there, and maybe you take hold of the back foot into monkey twist. Open the chest, the heart towards the sky, dropping hips deeper towards the mat for that quad stretch and hip flexor stretch. Sweep the right leg back into tiger pose. Tiger pose is left hand to right foot. Open chest, look forward. Press into back shin, right hand, and release back. Round of cat and cow here, just to release into the spine. Inhale, cow. Exhale, back to child's pose. Let's repeat that kneeling heart salutations. Exhale, come into your melting heart pose. Inhale, come into your forearm plank, knees down or off the mat. Exhale, lower the hips down. And inhale, come into your Sphinx pose. Exhale, lower the chest down to the mat. Hands come to the wider edges of the mat as you ripple up into a seal. Arms might be straight or bent. You might bring them in a little bit closer towards the body for a deeper back bend. Keep the ears away from the shoulders. Exhale as you roll down through the spine. Right arm comes out this time at shoulder height, palm face down, lying chest opener, maybe taking the top leg across. Switch to the other side, left arm out at shoulder height, roll onto the left hip and open up the right leg. Bring yourself back into center, press through the palms, come back through tabletop, release back through child's pose, and roll up through the spine to a high kneel as the hands come to the base of the spine once more for that supported camel. Pushing pelvis forward, making sure that you're not compressing into the neck, dropping hands to the mat, stepping left leg forward for your winged dragon. Exhaling, dropping hips deeper, keeping chest nice and lifted. Sweeping the left arm back to reach towards the back foot. Maybe taking hold of that back foot if it's accessible. And opening the left side of the body up towards the sky in these monkey twists. Release, sweep the left leg all the way back around, opening up the hip, coming into tiger, and releasing the right hand to take hold of the left foot if it's possible. Pushing the foot into the hand, lifting the chest. And releasing to tabletop for your round of cat and cow. And releasing back into child's pose as you breathe out. Taking a few breaths to pause. Rolling up through the spine to kneel at the back of your mat. Head rolls down. Slide out into tabletop. Lifting left arm up, threading the needle through and underneath the body, trying to come down on the outer edge of your left shoulder and reaching the right arm forward, keeping the hips nice and high over the knees here. Feel the opening in the right side of your body. Maybe you take a bind here and that front hand comes to the base of your spine. Make sure you're not compressing into the neck or the ear too much here. Lifting up left arm as you open, and it comes down to the mat, to tabletop. Sweeping up the right arm, thread it through and under, drawing the right shoulder down to the mat. Ear rests nice and gently on the mat. Try to keep the hips nice and stable. And maybe taking that bind with the front left hand here. It comes back to the hip or the sacrum. Releasing that hand to press you up as you release the underneath hand. Dropping hips, coming into the a variation of upward facing dog, a little back bend there as you lower down, and then bringing the head to the hands all the way into prone as you sway out into the hips here. Just giving yourself a little bit of release through the belly, through the spine, through the legs. Take the legs a little bit wider, knees as wide as your mat, bring the toes together. This one is a cobra lift, so legs lift, body lifts, body lowers, feet lift, heels to buttocks, body lifts, lower, heels to buttocks. Keep the feet up if you're able. Come into that cobra, keep those elbows drawing in towards the midline, and slowly lower down. Well done. Hands come back behind you this time. Palms face up by the side of your hips. Turn to the ear. And just rest. Breathe in, breathe out. Left hand comes underneath the forehead as the right hand takes hold of the right foot. Quadriceps stretch here. Half bow, drawing heel in towards the buttock. Lengthen the right thigh away from you as you draw that left hip flexor down. Swap hands, right hand under forehead, left hand takes left foot. Lift up and lengthen the thigh away as you draw the hip flexor down, drawing heel to buttock. Release, come into Sphinx. It's a half frog variation of your Sphinx pose here. So you can choose Sphinx on its own, or you can choose half frog on its own, or you can choose both together. But half frog is with the right knee out to the side at 90 degrees, flexing into the ankle. So make sure that you try and drop both hips nice and level. Try and drop the left as much as the right. Keep pressing through the earth in your Sphinx pose. Bring the left leg back and release down to the mat. Sway out once more. Release into the hips, sweep the arms around, interlace the fingers, press the knuckles back towards the heels as you lift up the chest, coming into half locust, pressing the feet down into the mat. Engagement through the glutes and the spinal extensors. Roll down. Turn to the right ear, right cheek rests, hands by the side of the body. Hands press you back through tabletop. Sway out if you need, a few rounds of cat and cow as you need here. You are your best guide, you know your body best, you know your spine best. Bringing right foot forward into a nice low crescent lunge this time. Sweeping the arms up towards the sky, a little back bend here. So if you're coming into these back bends, lift out of the lower back. Coming into a twist, bringing the left elbow to the right knee, palms together at the heart center, looking back over the right shoulder. Come center, tuck the back toe, and lean forward over the right thigh as you straighten the leg into a very long pyramid. You can use blocks here if you have them available. Lower the knee down, come back into that low lunge, reaching right arm up towards the sky, twisted lunge here. Maybe the gaze goes to the top fingers, and sweep the leg back into tabletop to prepare for the other side. Left leg comes forward to the front of the mat. Sink the hips towards the front heel. Raise the arms up towards the sky. Little back bend here. Maybe the palms come together or apart. Lift up and over as you reach back. Hands come back into the heart center to take that twist. Right elbow to the left knee and the thumbs in towards the heart center as you take the gaze back over the left shoulder. Bring yourself center and tuck the toe of your back leg. Nice long pyramid stretch here over that front left thigh, bringing the forehead down towards the shin. Lengthen the spine away, crown of the head reaches forward, and then exhaling, lowering that back knee down nice and slowly. As you come into that twisted lunge, lifting up the left arm up towards the sky. Release the hands down and take that left leg back into tabletop. Tucking the toes and drawing yourself up into your ripple downward facing dog. So using the mobilization that you've achieved through the earlier practice here, you can come forward into these gentle planks, down dog to plank, and then start to pedal out through the feet, really releasing into the toes, the heels, the Achilles, the calves, the back of the knees and the hamstrings. Maybe twisting from side to side and releasing into downward facing dog on your exhale. When you're ready, a few moments of pause. Lowering the forearms, coming into dolphin. A little bit of strength work here for the shoulders, and when you're ready you can start to walk the feet towards the body if you like, trying to get the hips a little higher up over the shoulders. Your choice here, but the head is away from the mat. You're pushing it through the forearms and lower down when you feel comfortable. Coming into child's pose, or maybe you like to take another reverse prayer here with child's pose. Soften the head down towards the mat. Rolling up through the spine, releasing your reverse prayer. And coming forward a little bit closer to the front of the mat, we're going to approach a hero pose. Knees come together. And if this is comfortable for you, the feet go to the outer edges of the mat and you drop the hips and the buttocks between the heels. You might like to sit on a cushion or a block here. Take your time here to lower yourself back onto the mat behind you, and maybe that's over a bolster, or you just stay upright if that is enough for you. But coming into a variation of your hero that works for you at this point in the practice. Maybe you come all the way down and the arms come back over the head, but try to keep those knees pointing forward and together. You might feel that there's quite a lot of pressure into the lower back. If you come all the way back down, it is a little bit of a back bend, but also it is opening up those quadriceps, hip flexors and psoas and intercostals. Take your time to come back up to kneeling. Bring the knees together and come to a high kneel. Another back bend coming up here, which is our camel, and choosing your variation. Maybe the hands are on blocks, maybe the hands are supporting the spine, or maybe they come to the heels. Lift out of the lower back as you push the pelvis forward and open the chest and shoulders. Bring yourself up and lower down to kneel. Take a breath here and let's come onto our backs. If you need to, make yourself warm, but slowly roll down through the spine. Really connect the spine into the mat here. And let the belly release. Drawing the knees in towards the chest, start to roll out through the spine, massaging those areas that we have worked through in our practice today. Lower back, middle back, upper back, shoulders. Opening up the knees, circling around, getting into the hip joints. And arms come out to the side of you at shoulder height as you come into a very soft reclined twist, just letting the knees drop to the right side of you. Trying to anchor through the left shoulder here, steady and slow breaths. And bringing back into center, realigning the pelvis and the hips and the spine as you take the knees over to the left. Try to relax into that top hip, outer thigh, letting the legs become heavy, bringing them back into center. Taking it over to the right once more, and this time use the right arm across the body, and as you move to the other side, the left arm sweeps across. So you're moving your arms to the left, knees to the right, arms to the right, knees to the left. Preparing for a fish pose. Hands come underneath the buttocks, palms face down, thumbs touch. Draw the elbows in as tight as they can towards the center line of the body, and then open up the chest and shoulders. You can look along the body here, or if the neck allows, you can look back behind you and rest the head down onto the mat, but keep lifting through the shoulders, through the chest, trying not to collapse, and maybe the feet lift as well. Coming out of fish, slowly releasing the legs, releasing the hands, and then taking a few moments to just come into butterfly pose, soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. Left hand onto the heart space, right hand onto the belly. Let's find that breath once more that we started our practice with when we began seated. Feel the warmth of your hands connected to your body, connected to your heart space and your belly. And also feel that heart and mind connection here for self-love, kindness, compassion, not just for yourself as you have come to your mat to practice today, but also when you leave your practice and go back into daily life, that you can share this kindness and compassion with others. Releasing the hands to the thighs, lifting the knees together, taking a constructive rest as you rest the knees together in the center. Feet go wide, turn the toes in, heels out. Soften everything here as you prepare for your final relaxation in Shavasana. Making yourself comfortable, arms out to the side of you, palms face up, receptive for all of the benefits that you have received, and your feet are relaxed, letting the toes just fall out to the sides. And I will leave you here to take as long as you need in your Shavasana, allowing this time for you to be silent so that you can process your practice, but also enjoy and reap the benefits of your Shavasana. Namaste.